Hello and welcome to the Higher School of Economics, Moscow, Russia. In this video, I'll be talking about different types of educational language policies and outline the specificities of each policy. Claus developed a taxonomy to categorize various types of explicit official language policies. However, many language practices do not have official designation, but still exhibit the force of policy. In this way, the notion of policy needs to be expanded in order to include those which are unofficial, implicit, or covert. Language policy taxonomy consists of promotion-oriented policies, expediency-oriented laws or policies, tolerance-oriented policies, restriction-oriented policies, repression-oriented policies, policies of erasure, and null policies. Let's take a closer look at each policy separately. So, promotion-oriented policies involve explicit use of government resources to promote official use or spread of a favored language or languages. For example, the printing and distribution of laws, records, and conducting governmental business in the national or official languages. Another example is the promotion of a specific language or languages in schools that is enhanced by the medium of instruction policies. Expediency-oriented policies recognize minority languages and coexist with promotion-oriented policies. They differ, however, in purpose, because they are not intended to promote the use of minority languages. And the main purpose is to accommodate minority languages to facilitate communication between language minorities and the government. For example, the expediency-oriented policies are used to ensure civil rights in the United States, including educational and political access. In other countries, transitional bilingual or mother tongue education has been prescribed in early grades of instruction to help facilitate the transition to the majority or official language of instruction. Likewise, expediency policies can also benefit the state when it comes to governmental needs to communicate with linguistic minority groups in order to carry out its basic functions. In this way, expediency policies appear to be benefiting both minority community and basic operations of the state. In tolerance-oriented policies, language minority communities can maintain or use their languages with no control from the state. There is no expectation that in doing so they will receive any support from the state, though. Language minority television, radio stations, and printed materials are available. Heritage language schools are supported through private or community-based funding. And finally, bottom-up planning allows the promotion and maintenance of languages from within. Restriction-oriented policies constrain the use of minority languages. So social, political, educational and economic benefits, rights and opportunities are contingent on knowing and using only the dominant language. It should be stressed that language restriction is usually witnessed in public domains, such as workplace and education. Some scholars point out that restrictive school language policies have often had negative consequences for the acquisition of literacy in the dominant language. Repression policies involve overt attempts to eliminate minority languages. And as a concomitant element of this is the deculturation and linguistic genocide. For example, African slaves in the United States in the 19th century were not allowed to use their own languages. Likewise, Native Americans were forced to leave their ancestral communities and attend boarding schools, where only English policy was implemented, while their native languages costumes, dress were all disallowed. Policies of erasure can be seen as an extreme case of the repressive policies, where attempts were made to act as if the minority language never existed or never had any history. For example, the Spanish conquerors attempted to eliminate the languages and literacies of the indigenous peoples of America. And finally, null policies refer to the significant absence of policies whatsoever, especially where equitable treatment is needed to ensure linguistic access for minority populations to services, education, and social and economic participation in the society at large. As there are deliberate efforts to change or influence language behavior, educational policies can be analyzed from different perspectives. Formal language policies can be analyzed based on their intended outcomes, which focus on the motivations behind original formulation of a language policy. It's not a secret that policies are subject to interpretation, and in this regard, language policy or educational policy are not always effectively implemented, and as a result, they can be manipulated. So, the role of educational officials and teachers as interpreters and implementers of policy is very important. In the next video, I'll be talking about basic concepts when it comes to language rights, and language rights especially in education. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye-bye.